Picture this, a city rising from the Arabian sands, where the world's tallest skyscraper pierces the clouds and police patrol in Lamborghinis. Dubai stands today as one of humanity's most audacious urban experiments, yet oil accounts for less than 1% of its entire economy. How does a former fishing village transform itself into a glittering global metropolis in just half a century? Before we dive into this remarkable story, make sure you're subscribed to the World Documentaries and hit that notification bell. We explore the extraordinary stories behind the world's most fascinating places. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's uncover the secrets behind Dubai's meteoric rise. Maritime foundations. Long before oil transformed the Middle East, Dubai was carving out its identity through something far more ancient, the sea. Throughout the early 20th century, this modest fishing settlement evolved into a bustling trading hub, strategically positioned near Iran and the gateway to the Persian Gulf. Merchants from across the region recognized its potential, establishing trade routes that would lay the groundwork for future prosperity. The Arabian Gulf had always been generous to those who understood its rhythms. Dubai's natural harbor became a meeting point for goods flowing between east and west, creating a commercial tradition that continues to define the emirate today. These maritime routes weren't just about survival, they were about building connections that would prove invaluable when the modern era arrived, transforming ancient seafaring wisdom into contemporary global commerce, the port that changed everything. Fast forward to today, and Jebel Ali Port stands as the Middle East's busiest cargo terminal and arguably the United Arab Emirates' most critical commercial asset. This engineering marvel handles millions of containers annually, but its true genius lies not in its physical infrastructure but in the revolutionary concept surrounding it. The port sits within the Jebel Ali Free Zone, known locally as Jafsa, which spans an impressive 57 square kilometers. What makes Jafsa extraordinary is its designation as the world's largest economic free zone. Here, businesses enjoy tax exemptions, customs duty benefits, and complete foreign ownership rights within a streamlined administrative framework. Several thousand companies now operate within this zone, collectively representing over 20% of all foreign investment flowing into the UAE. The numbers tell a compelling story. Nearly 150,000 employees generating $80 billion in annual trade, accounting for 21% of Dubai's entire GDP. The human cost of progress. Behind Dubai's gleaming facade lies a more complicated reality that demands acknowledgement. The UAE hosts the world's sixth largest migrant population, with foreign nationals comprising over 80% of its residents. The majority of this workforce consists of South Asian laborers who built Dubai's skyline under conditions that sparked international concern and controversy. For years, these workers endured low wages, extended hours, and challenging living conditions. Many found themselves trapped when employers confiscated their passports, unable to return home despite desperate circumstances. However, responding to global criticism, the UAE's Federal National Council enacted significant reforms in 2017. The new legislation mandated 30 days of paid vacation annually, weekly rest days, comprehensive medical insurance, and employment contracts before work commencement. While these improvements represent progress, they also remind us that rapid development often comes with profound human complexities that deserve our continued attention and scrutiny. The rivalry that shaped history. Dubai's story cannot be told without understanding its relationship with Abu Dhabi, the UAE's capital and wealthiest emirate. During the 1930s, Abu Dhabi discovered vast oil reserves containing 9% of the world's proven petroleum deposits, while Dubai's exploration efforts came up empty. This disparity emerged precisely when the pearl industry, the Gulf's economic backbone, was collapsing due to Japanese cultured pearl competition. The resulting economic pressure created dangerous tensions between the neighboring emirates. A border dispute in 1947 escalated into armed conflict, requiring British intervention to prevent further bloodshed. Even after hostilities decreased, Dubai plunged into severe economic depression. Residents faced starvation, forcing many to abandon their homes and seek opportunities elsewhere in the Gulf. The emirate stood at a crossroads, desperately needing visionary leadership to imagine a different future beyond traditional industries and regional rivalries. The visionary Sheikh, enter Sheikh Rashid bin Zayed Al Maktoum, who assumed Dubai's leadership in 1958 with bold ambitions that seemed reckless to conservative observers. Rather than accepting Dubai's limitations, he embarked on an unprecedented infrastructure spending campaign funded by substantial loans and revenues from maritime trading activities. His approach defied conventional wisdom, betting Dubai's future on borrowed money and ambitious dreams. The Sheikh established private companies that constructed electricity networks, telephone systems, expanded port facilities, and built Dubai's first airport. Critics questioned the sustainability of such aggressive development without oil wealth. But Sheikh Rashid understood something fundamental. Infrastructure creates opportunities, and opportunities attract investment. His willingness to embrace calculated risk and leverage debt for strategic development laid the foundation for everything Dubai would become, proving that sometimes the most prudent path forward requires courage to imagine possibilities others cannot see. The British connection. Much of Dubai's development benefited from its relationship with Britain, dating back to the late 19th century when regional sheikhs accepted British protectorate status in exchange for diplomatic support. This arrangement proved mutually beneficial, with British expertise and connections facilitating the Emirates' modernization throughout the 20th century. The relationship evolved but never disappeared, continuing to shape Dubai's global commercial strategy. Consider the London Gateway Port, a massive deep-sea container terminal 25 miles east of London that serves as Britain's vital link to 90 cities worldwide. Despite its strategic importance to British commerce, this facility is owned and operated by DP World, a Dubai-based company. This reversal illustrates how Dubai transformed from British protectorate to global player, leveraging historical relationships into contemporary business advantages. The student had become the master, applying lessons learned from colonial relationships to build its own international commercial empire. Oil and strategic wisdom. When Dubai finally struck oil in 1966, the discovery could have fundamentally altered Sheikh Rashid's development strategy. Many expected Dubai to follow Abu Dhabi's path, becoming another petroleum-dependent economy. However, upon announcing the discovery, the Sheikh made a prescient declaration that would define Dubai's trajectory. Rather than building the economy around oil extraction, he used petroleum revenues to accelerate his existing vision. The oil money funded continued investment in trade infrastructure, tourism facilities, and financial services rather than creating dependency on hydrocarbon exports. This decision proved remarkably foresighted as global energy markets now shift toward renewable sources and away from fossil fuel reliance. Today, Dubai International Airport holds the distinction of being the world's busiest for international passenger traffic, cementing the Emirates' position as the gateway connecting East and West. What was once merely a stopover has become a premier destination attracting millions of annual visitors. The gamble that paid off Sheikh Rashid's audacious borrowing strategy, once considered dangerously reckless, ultimately transformed a quiet backwater into one of the world's most influential cities. For years, Dubai's extensive infrastructure sat largely underutilized, raising questions about whether the investment would ever justify its enormous cost. The Sheikh had essentially bet tens of billions of dollars that globalization would eventually fill his airports, ports, and hotels with international traffic and commerce. That gamble has paid off spectacularly. As our planet becomes increasingly interconnected, Dubai stands perfectly positioned to capitalize on global trade flows, tourism, and financial services. The city's economy grew 4.4% in early 2025, with emerging sectors like healthcare experiencing remarkable 20% expansion. Looking ahead, Dubai's Economic Agenda D33 aims to double the economy's size within the next decade, proving that the city's ambition remains as bold as ever. Dubai's transformation from struggling fishing village to global powerhouse offers lessons about innovation, adaptability, and the courage to pursue seemingly impossible dreams. This story reminds us that geography isn't destiny, that visionary leadership can overcome tremendous obstacles, and that strategic thinking can transform disadvantages into competitive advantages. Yet it also challenges us to consider the human costs of rapid development and the responsibilities that come with such extraordinary success. What fascinates you most about Dubai's journey? Have you visited this remarkable city, or does its story inspire thoughts about development in your own community? Share your experiences and perspectives in the comments below. We love hearing from our community. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the world's most fascinating cities, subscribe to the World Documentaries for more stories about the places, people, and events that shape our world. Hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next documentary.